Hey there guys, it's Fat and Happy Kid and welcome to my channel. In today's video I'm going to show you how to replace the coolant in your car. It's getting a bit colder now, so I've got this antifreeze anti-boil premix, so you don't have to add any water or anything, it's just straight into the car. Here's where you'll be filling it, and on these models, this is a Fiat 500, they've got the radiator and there's a little drainage plug on the right hand side of the radiator on the bottom underneath the car. Sometimes in other cars you can just take the bottom radiator hose off and drain the old fluid that way. This car you can just do the little drainage plug that's on the side of the radiator. So I'm underneath the car now. I'm on the right side of the radiator, or the passenger side of the car, and there's a little bung. So you got the radiator and there's a little bung, plastic bung that's just on the side here. That'll be the drainage plug for the coolant, and this one takes a 13mm ring spanner to undo. It's a little bit of a tricky spot to get under, especially when you're only working off jacks, but I'll undo it now. Alright, so make sure the coolant is cool. You don't want to be doing this with hot coolant, so make sure it's all cool. You'll be undoing it to a point with the 13mm or whatever yawn takes, and then it'll start coming out this. There's a little nozzle bit. Once you see the liquid start coming out the little nozzle, that's when you stop turning, and then you can grab your pan, make sure it's clearly under the area that's going to be dripping to, and then just slowly work the bolt that you loosened with your hand. So just slowly work it, and it should start flowing out. There we go, so we got it flowing out now. Not that much, I'm just taking it fully out. There we go. I just need to lower the car a little bit because it's not flowing out how it should be. So what I've done is I've brought the car down to just normal level how it sits. You're going to see it just trickling out a little bit and you think, oh, that's kind of weird. It's a pressurized system, so what you've got to do is you've got to release the top screw cap, and once you do that, it's going to put some air in there and it's going to start trickling out better. As you come down here, you can see now it's fully coming out, and that's what you want. So you take the lid off and it'll come out like that, and you just wait till that stops trickling. Try and catch everything. Always make sure you have a rag handy so you can clean up whatever misses. And yeah, you'll wait till that finishes draining and you'll redo up the plug. When it's draining, to get most of the old coolant out, you can just squeeze the feeding hoses. So this is obviously the hose that feeds the radiator. You can give that a squeeze and it just makes a little vacuum and it just forces the old stuff off. You can do other hoses too that are all connected to the radiator, just to get as much old coolant out as you can. Just squeeze the hoses, just get as much coolant out as you can. Don't have to be too fussy, but the more out the better it is. As you can see, this is all empty now. I'm just waiting for the last little bits just to trickle out from that squeeze. Hey, so this is the plastic bung that was on the bottom of the radiator that I took out. Just wanted to show you what it looked like, and this is what you'll just see from it coming out of the radiator, and this is obviously the rest of it that goes in. Okay, so I'll go to put this back in and then we can start filling back up the new coolant. Alright guys, so the car's back on the ground, the bung's back in on the radiator, and now it's ready to put some fluid in. So I've got a funnel to just make it easier, keeps it all contained. I'm just going to top this up. Until I can see it reading on the max. There's minimum and maximum. You don't want to top it up any further than that. Initially, you're going to top it up till you see that go up to max, and then you'll turn on the car and it's going to run a little bit through the system, and then it'll go down in here. Once it's run through the system and it's go down, you'll top it back up to max again, and that should be enough coolant for it. So I've stopped when it's just gone to the max line here. I'm going to put the lid back on, and then I'm going to run the car so it can circulate through the system. And then I might have to do another top up because this should sink down again, and then you top it back up. So I've turned on the car and I'm waiting for it to get up to temperature. As you can see, I put it up to max now. It's running through the system and it's already on the minimum. All I've got to do is wait till this fan starts going, and that means it's got up to temperature. Once that fan's started going, you can turn off your car, and then you re-top it up back to the max line, and then once you've done that, that's job done. So after you've turned the car off, please allow a little bit of time before you open this cap, because what's happened is the system's pressurized again, so there's going to be a big air pressurized, and I don't want you getting squirt with hot coolant. So just wait for this to cool down a little bit, and then once it has, take the lid off, top it back up to max, and put the lid back on, and that's how you change the coolant in your car. Till the next video, bye for now.